Morning, friends. I'm at an on-site coaching session right now and got a text this morning from the leader that I'm working with that she's had an overwhelming morning. And so she asked for a minute and is taking it. And I think it's a really smart play. And so it gives me a second myself to sit on this deck in a beautiful backyard and consider how inspired I am by what just happened. Here's what I mean. Here's a leader who is in the trenches as a reconciler. She's imagining all sorts of ways to form everyday peacemakers in her sphere of influence. She recognizes that it's been an overwhelming morning and that if she doesn't take a minute, she's going to miss the moment today. So she identifies that, she asks for it, she's taking it, and it's going to mean what happens in the next few hours are probably going to matter a bit more. It makes me consider the contemplative practices of Jesus, where I think repeatedly we see him in the Gospels in high intensity moments, either when things are going well or when things are going really poorly. It didn't matter, but we watch Jesus take a leisurely step back, get away. Jesus took a minute in order to take a breath, to gain some perspective, both probably in terms of his belovedness and the movement that needs to happen now. It would recalibrate him, and then he would move forward in a way that made it clear that he wasn't missing the moments. It's got me thinking about this in my own life, where in the midst of overwhelm or significant transitions, or when the conflict or justice feels like it's too much, or I feel like I've had my nose to the grind too long, I haven't had a break, I'm starting maybe to get anxious, how my MO is to put my nose to the grind and keep moving through it rather than to acknowledge the feeling, the tightness in my chest, and take a step back so that I can take a breath and gain some perspective. And so I don't know how this strikes you, everyday peacemakers, but it's got me thinking about how maybe one of the more important practices for us for sustained life, love, and leadership as everyday peacemakers is to get a lot better at acknowledging the moments when we need to take a minute so that we don't miss the moments. If we're going to be in this for the long haul, if we're going to transform conflict, if we're going to bridge across difference, if we're going to address the areas of brokenness in our contexts, then we better become really adept at taking a step back, grabbing those minutes, finding some perspective, remembering our belovedness and that of others, so that we don't miss the moments that lie ahead. So whatever that means for you, whatever shape that takes for you, I want to encourage us into that today. Take a minute, get a breath, and get some perspective so that we don't miss the moments.